make sure you pay attention to this episode because I am about to go nuts. What's going on, football fans? Welcome into NFL Daily by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and on today's episode, we are discussing two superstar edge rushers that are dealing with some contract disputes as we speak. The first being Mr. Trey Hendrickson, who Adam Schefter himself gave an update about on the Pat McAfee show. And we're going to deep dive into everything that was said and my thoughts on it all. But before we do that, we need to get to 411,000 subscribers. Before the NFL season starts, it's a non-negotiable, my friends. So here's what I need you to do. If you're a major NFL football fan and you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. It is free. It'll always be free. We will never cost a dime. Hit that subscribe button. Lock us in. Now let's start. Adam Schefter was a guest on the Pat McAfee show. Big fan of the show, by the way. Love Pat McAfee. Love his comedy. Love the way he talks about sports and his take on everything. And this was reported that there was at least some discussion. The opening up of contract negotiation talks was brought back onto the table between Trey Hendrickson's camp and the Cincinnati Bengals. There's apparently now another disconnect, another divide. So much so that Adam Schefter believes that they aren't even close to a deal. In fact, not only can they not agree on a price, they can't even agree on the length of a contract. Adam Schefter says, I think, and I quote, the Bengals would like for it to be a 1-year deal. Are you kidding me? A 1-year deal for the back-to-back sacks leaders. Excuse me, I don't know if he was the year prior, but he definitely was last year. The sack leader in the NFL. 35 sacks in 2 seasons. A 1-year deal is insane. I mean, and let's just take a look really quick at what the Bengals have for their edge rushers, right? They don't even have Shamar Stewart under contract yet. That's their rookie. So if they don't have Trey Hendrickson, you're looking at one of the worst NFL defenses last year, losing their best player. I'm pretty sure a really good college team could score on that defense. It's brutal. And the one player that's a bright spot, the shining light on your defense, who got 35 sacks in 2 seasons, you're like, well, you know, we really only kind of want to sign you to a 1-year deal. We just don't know yet. What don't you know? I mean, the last couple of seasons, he has been outstanding. Even in 2022, when his sacks took a hit, 3 out of the last 4 years, you're talking about 14-plus sacks. I'm not a NFL GM, but call me crazy. I'd be paying that guy. Like yesterday, I would have paid him. And I think the Bengals' biggest mistake, believe it or not, was actually paying T. Higgins. But that's a different video for a different day. I think their problem came when they decided to give the money to T. Higgins. And I just don't understand how you offer a 1-year deal to a player that has shown you time and time again that he can get after the quarterback the way that Trey Hendrickson does. Now, I do understand that there have been reports that he's a selfish player, that he only tries to go out and get his numbers. And I can draw a comparison to a guy like Russell Westbrook in the NBA, who, at the height of his power, kind of a stat patter, cared about the triple-double. But the truth is, back in that 2016 to 2017 range, Russell Westbrook was one of the best, if not the best player outside of LeBron James in the NFL. Or, excuse me, in the NBA. My apologies. So I look at Trey Hendrickson as, even if he might be a stat patter, this is a guy that has shown the ability to do it at the highest level. The best or second best in the NFL at getting to the quarterback. You could make an argument on Myles Garrett. You could make an argument on TJ Watt. But outside of those 2 other guys, who else does it better? And right now, you are absolutely looking at $35+ million per year more. And I think with Trey Hendrickson's age, he being 30 years old now, I could see him saying, look, I understand your concerns about the age and me getting older. So maybe it isn't a $40 million a year price tag. Maybe it's 35. Maybe it's 34. But he wants a hell of a lot more of a security blanket than a 1-year deal. So I'll ask you this question, and I feel like this could kind of go either way. Will Trey Hendrickson make $40 million per year? Yes or no? I'm going to say, based off of where everything is right now, and he clearly wanting to stay with the Bengals, I think he would accept less than $40 million a year. But it's not going to be that much lower. I feel like his floor would be 35. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Now coming up, somebody that is in the same division as him, by the way, TJ Watt. He's also hit a little bit of a stalemate in contract talk as well. So we'll deep dive on TJ Watt's contract talk, which, by the way, doesn't end until the end of the 2025 season. But before we do that, summer, guys, it's here. And Father's Day has since passed. So if you haven't done this deal yet, make sure you use this link that I've put in the comments and description of today's video and start shopping Fanatics today. I love to go golfing. It's a big hobby of mine. And I promise you, I will be repping my favorite team on the golf course with any one of these polos. So do me a favor, go to chatsports.com/NFL Polo and start shopping today. Thank you to Fanatics for sponsoring today's video. Okay, I do want to briefly mention that, like I said before, TJ Watt has not his contract doesn't end until the end of the 2026 season. Okay, so let's just put that out there. They don't owe him anything outside of what his current contract is right now. I believe it's at $21 million for 2025. But PFR, which is one of my favorite places to go find NFL rumors, was talking about TJ Watt, and they kind of proposed this. They said that Watt tied an all-time single-season sack record in the NFL in 2021 with 22.5 sacks, which is insane. Now, in 2022, he was limited to 10 games because of a torn pec, and the four-time All-Pro Bowler bounced back by leading the league once again in sacks in 2023, something which will, of course, help his bargaining position, obviously. But on the other hand, we saw his sack drop to 11.5 last year. Oh, the humanity of it all. And given his age, the Steelers will no doubt be more hesitant about a monster contract extension this time than when Watt was coming off of his rookie deal. It also should be noted that Watt skipped out on mandatory minicamp. I don't blame him for that. Obviously, if you were trying to get a new contract and they were like, hey, we're not even going to consider that. By the way, you have to show up to all mandatory functions. I feel like you would have something to say about that as well. Now, what are they going to do? Fire him? Cut him? Yeah, right. Good luck. And if we look back at the 2024 season that TJ Watt had, these numbers are still outstanding. Don't get it twisted. He had 19 tackles for loss, 11.5 sacks. Oh, woe is me. He had 11.5 instead of 20. That's still amazing. 6 forced fumbles, 27 quarterback hits, which is among the top in the NFL. And he's been the picture of consistency over the last 4 years. Granted, he has, injury history. I'll give you that. But I look at TJ Watt alongside Trey Hendrickson and alongside Myles Garrett as the big three in the NFL. 3 best pass rushers, then probably Micah Parsons and Max Crosby as right in between those two. You can interchange those. But those 3 are the best. And again, looking at the highest paid edge rushers per year, he currently sits at number 7. And look, I'm not going to lie to you. Does he deserve top 5 money? Absolutely. And he will get top 5 money. He will get more than $35 million per year. You can bank on that. But if I'm the Steelers, it's not about how much you're making per year. It's about the amount of years you're tied into it. Because with his age getting older and his injury history, I do have some slight concerns. Unlike Trey Hendrickson, who doesn't have nearly the injury history that TJ Watt has. I look at Watt and say, this is probably a 2-year extension at most. And if you want a 3-year or a 4-year deal, you're going to have to take significantly less for us to give you that amount of money. If I'm the Steelers. Again, Watt could say, kick rocks, touch grass. I'm going to find somewhere else that'll pay me my 3-year, 4-year extension with the amount of money that I'm looking forward to. But I will ask you this question because I feel like this is up in the air right now. Who's going to get paid first, Hendrickson or Watt? And my money's on Hendrickson, but I wouldn't be surprised considering how bad the ownership group is in Cincinnati and how cheap they have notoriously been throughout their, tenure as the owners for the Bengals. I could easily see Watt getting the money first. But Producer Joey says that his money is on TJ Watt. Let me know by saying TJ for TJ Watt or TH for Trey Hendrickson in the comment section down below. Before I end today's episode, remember, we're trying to get to 411,000. So subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you haven't. And as always, be cool.